Hi Pisces, welcome to October. So this is going to be your October reading, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull 4 or 5 tarot cards just to kind of get the overall energy of the month. And depending on whether this looks like it's career oriented or relationship, then I'll pull whatever clarifying cards to kind of help me figure out what's going on. So we've got 2 cards that just popped out. I'm going to take those. I'm Jody. There's another one with Soul Purpose Tarot. So I really appreciate you stopping by. I would love it if you would like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever, so I know you're out there. I absolutely love doing this. It is definitely, it makes me think all the stuff that I've been through, and I can just sit here and talk to my friends through a camera and talk about all my favorite things in the world and all the crazy crap that I have learned over the years that my friends are all sick of hearing about. Or at least maybe they're not. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they probably are. Maybe they're not. So anyhow, I want that one and that one. I'm taking that one too. All right. We got a whole bunch of cards that popped out here. So let's see what we've got going for the month of October for you Pisces. So the first one that came up, someone got their heart broken, maybe in the last month or 2. It seems to be healing a little bit because it's in the reverse position. But this is definitely, look at that. You can't get much worse than that. But the hard part is over. That's the good news. So whatever happened is over and on its way to mending. The 9 of Wands. Okay, so Wands is ideas. You had a lot of, let me think about this. Let me have to clarify that. Okay, the 10 of Swords would be you're letting go of all of the negative thoughts, which makes sense because if you got your heart broke, you are caught up in your head, majorly caught up in your head with what happened and upset and everything. But what is the 9 of Wands? Well, I feel like it's just, if you look at this card, he's very battered and broken. He's got an eye patch on. He looks like he's just literally had the shit beat out of him. So in this case, I think it's just a matter of, because it came with this card, it's just 2 confirmation cards that you are on your way to mending a broken heart, and you're recuperating, still recuperating. The negative thoughts that you had all this time is starting to go away, because the 10 of Swords was in the reverse position. So that's always good. The Empress. Now, this is who you want to be. This is where you're heading, because in order to move on to another relationship, you've got to be in the Empress position. You have got to feel confident, feel like you have your shit together. Whether you do or not, it's better to have your shit together. But, there's that phrase, fake it until you make it. So right now I'm feeling like you're probably not dating a whole lot. And when you do, I think this is my feeling about that. It's like you go on a date and it doesn't turn out the way you want it to. So you go home and you're kind of like, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. And then a week later, you're like going, but I'm really kind of lonely. And so I'm going to go out and try it again. And you go out with somebody and you're like, yeah, I'm not really ready for this. I feel like at this point in time, you're emotionally unavailable. So you might as well quit wasting your time, because even if you did meet someone who was really, really right for you, you probably wouldn't be able to make it stick because you're not in the right place in order to do that. You're probably in a repelling place instead of a bringing them in place. So I'm going to suggest, if you are still healing from a broken heart, don't even waste your time on going out with somebody. Don't waste their time. Don't waste your time. Do something else to do whatever you need to do to heal yourself, instead of, going out on dates, or at least dates with people who think that you're available. This is the 7 of Pentacles in the reverse position. Now, normally this is kind of like, she's looking at her little bush there with all the pentacles that's growing, and you've planted all of your seeds and you're starting to watch them grow. But it was in the reverse position, so I feel like back in the past, you did plant a lot of seeds, but as of right now, none of them are starting to show. I feel like a lot of that had to do with maybe some self-esteem stuff that you were going through, and some healing stuff that you were going through, and you're still releasing some of that stuff, so you haven't necessarily seen the fruits of your labor. All of this crying and everything that you were doing when you got your heart broken and stuff was releasing and awakening you to a better situation. You don't feel like you've seen any improvement, because I feel like you're still kind of boo-hooing here and there. But it's just a matter of time before you're going to get out of that complete situation with a fully healed heart, because this shows up, and this is where you want to be in the end, which is the 10 of Cups, with the happy family, the happy ending. So you're headed that direction. You're just not there yet. So that's kind of the overall energy of the month of October. So just hang tight. It's getting better. How do I want to clarify this? So I'm going to do some of these. Actually, ouch. I have some new cards. And this is Whispers of Healing. And since you are still healing from a broken heart, I'm going to see what these have to say as far as clarifying what you can do to maybe speed up the process of your healing. The first thing that's coming to mind is journaling. I am a big journaler. I was going through a rough patch with my guy a couple of weeks ago, and I was having some days where I was not doing so well. And one of the things that I found very, very helpful was to write it down and just kind of have a conversation and do a therapy session on myself. This is how I'm feeling. Why am I feeling this? Why do I think I'm feeling this? What caused it? And just like keep going deeper and deeper and deeper until you kind of get to the root of it. And I can tell you, if you work at it hard enough, the one thing that you're always going to find is it generally has to do with self-worth issues. You feel bad. They said something to you that hurt your feelings, which brought up self-worth issues or abandonment issues. I had some of that. We got into it a couple of weeks ago. He said something, and immediately I thought, oh my God, he's going to leave me. And after I did my own therapy session on myself, I realized that my abandonment issues had come bubbling up. It's like here I think I'm like, I've got all my shit taken care of, and then something happens and I realize, nope, not quite. So the more you work on that, at least if something pops up, you can kind of work through it faster. So instead of taking a month to get over something like it used to, maybe next time, it only takes a week, or maybe it only takes a day or two when something happens, and you can kind of look back at yourself and ask yourself, why did that bother me so bad? Why did that comment offend me so bad? And figure out what it is, work through it. That's like a major step to healing. So, okay, let's see what this these cards are so big that they're very hard to shuffle. I'm going to do them sideways. Let's see what they suggest you do to help heal this heartbreak and move yourself to another step. Usually hanging out with your friends, starting a new hobby, getting your mind off of wanting to be in a relationship and kind of meeting some people in a more organic nature instead of like, you know, trying to force yourself to go out with somebody that you met online can be an easier way to get through something, because sometimes when you're meeting people online and they're just as broken as you are, it doesn't speed up your healing. It just keeps you stuck in that same negative thought process. So that's kind of why I feel like it's important that you stop dating for right now and heal yourself, because hanging out with other unhealed people, this is just my opinion, because I've dated my whole life. I've never been married. I've done a lot of dating. And one of the best places for unhealed people to hang out is on the dating sites, because it's safe. You don't have to meet anybody. You can chit chat for 2 or 3 weeks. And if you end up meeting somebody that you spent a month or two talking to, it's probably pretty safe to say that they're just as broken as you are. So when you finally do meet, it's not going to go anyplace anyway, because they're not ready. You're not ready. They've just got out of a divorce. And I'm like, oh God. Like, been through all of that. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Let's do this one, and one on the bottom, and then one on the top, and one on the top. Okay. This is the advice. Receive healing. Ah, okay. Could have told you that. And this one says sensitivity. Let's see. What does it say about sensitivity? Page 12. Being sensitive means you feel energy on a deeper level than most people around you. You may sense or know what other people are feeling or thinking. You may also take on the feelings or moods of those around you. You may find that your fears become amplified when your sensitivity is heightened. To heal this cycle, learn to confront your fears. Work towards getting to know yourself. You need to be aware of your feelings so you can tell when you are being unduly influenced by the energy of others. Developing your intuition will help you manage energy that is not yours. This is also called being an empath. So us empaths tend to be extra sensitive. So when we get our heart broken, we get our heart broken twice as bad as anybody else. When we are in a bad mood, we are in twice a bad mood because we soak up other people's energy. That kind of goes along with the advice of don't hang out with other emotionally unavailable people that you may meet on a dating site, because you are going to soak up they probably have some negative energy and trust issues within themselves. You're going to soak up some of that stuff. It's not going to do you any good. So sensitivity is depicted in this image as a wood nymph. Her face is half hidden from view. The darkness around her face suggests a fear held in the mind. The fear may not be warranted. It is up to you to face your fears. So that's what that card says. This one says hidden blessings. So I believe that just goes along with, yes, it hurts. It hurts really, really, really bad when either you get dumped or you get out of a relationship that you thought was going someplace. But the good news is you don't want a relationship that's a half relationship to work out. If you're not going to get the whole shebang, then don't stick with it. Know what you want. I spent years working on getting clear on what kind of relationship that I wanted. Someone who was honest, someone that was upstanding, trustworthy, all of the characteristics that were really super important to me. And as I would meet somebody, I could tell immediately, not even close, all they wanted was sex. out of here. I don't want somebody that just wants to be in my pants and that's it. I want somebody that wants to get to know me for me. And if all they're wanting is sex, then I have absolutely no interest in them. So know what you want and what kind of a relationship you want. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to get clear on that. And if you want advice, send me a message and I'm happy to tell you what it is. And learning. So that next step is your learning, kind of goes back to learning how to do your own self-therapy sessions, learning what triggers you, learning what causes you, maybe your abandonment issues to come up, or your self-worth issues, or maybe you have a tendency to go really super negative when something happens. And so all of this crap that happened with the breakup is bringing out healing for you, and you need to pay attention to that, because if you're not, the same thing's going to happen next time. So you've got to make sure you get over that before you move on to the next relationship. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do some power of love. Since this all seems to be relationship oriented and not work, we're going to do all the things that go along with love. And, oh, nope, I'm not going to do romance angels because you're not dating right now, remember? Or you're not supposed to be. So this is more about learning to love yourself. This is the phase that you should be in, is not trying to find somebody to fill the big hole in your heart. You need to figure out how to fill the hole in your heart all by yourself. So let's see what the power of love cards have to say in this situation. There's 3 cards. All right, we'll take them. Release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies and the loving forces to the universe. So that goes along with releasing those negative feelings, the self-worth issues. That's what you need to be working on right now, is releasing all of that stuff. So the next time you get into a relationship, you're not going to end up having those problems again. Or if they crop up, you can get over it really fast. You don't get bent out of shape very fast. I have learned with my guy that he can say something that triggers me and I can snap something back. And it doesn't take long for me to realize that was all about me. I mean, I can even remember having a conversation with him back in the beginning, and I got mad at him about something. And I said, you know what? I realized you triggered something in me, and this is how you fix that. Next time that happens, just stop and say, what did I do to trigger you? And it'll immediately stop whatever snit that I am in, and I can stop and look at myself and realize that this is about me. This isn't about something that he did. This is in me that's making me react this way. The last time we got into it, he must have forgotten what I told him to do, because he didn't do that. He just said, I'm very upset. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Spontaneity. You move beyond the constraints of mind and freely loving embrace new situations. I feel like that has to do with more like friends. So if you have a friend that calls you and says, hey, let's go to dinner on Friday night, go with them. You never know who you're going to meet, but I feel like that is part of the healing process. Whatever you do, do not sit at home by yourself. Yes, journaling and doing stuff like that at home by yourself is good, but healing also has to do with getting out of the negative situation, negative energies, and being around people that love you can bring your vibrations up. That's super, super important. And the last one says kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. Get yourself to that point. Get yourself to that high vibrational point where people want to be around you instead of ignore you or avoid you because you're at home feeling sorry for yourself. So, it's all about the energy exchange. Right now your energy exchange is probably super low because you're still licking your wounds, but you know, eventually that's going to go up and get to a point where people want to be around you. So that's what you're working towards. But as of right now, it looks like you're over the hard part, which is always good. Just being over the hard part is the best thing of all. So anyway, Pisces, I hope you have a great month, and I will see you mid-month for the mid-month reading. Thank you.